Chapter 15, burn the place down. Once you take 10x actions and start getting traction, you must continue to add wood to your fire until you either start a brush fire or a bonfire or, hey, burn the place down. Don't rest and don't stop, ever. I learned this the hard way after achieving a lot of success and then resting on my laurels for a moment. This is a commonly made mistake. Do not do it. Keep stacking wood until the fire is so hot and burns so brightly that not even your competitors, not even market changes can put the fire out. Your fire has to continue to be stoked, and that means more wood, more fuel, and in your case, more actions. Once you start operating like this, it will become almost second nature to continue because you're going to be winning. You're going to continue with new actions. It's easiest and most natural to continue taking massive actions when you are winning, and winning is only possible with more massive actions. When you begin to see things heat up, you'll quickly become aware, even obsessed with the possibilities before you, and will start to see new levels of positive results. Your actions will start to perpetuate themselves like a flywheel that, once it gets going, continues going by itself. Newton talked about the law of inertia. An object in motion continues to stay in motion. Hey, keep taking action until you can't stop your forward momentum. You might even find yourself operating on less sleep, less food, because you're literally subsisting on your adrenaline generated by your victories. It will be about this time that people will start offering you their admiration and then their advice. Now, be particularly aware or wary of those who suggest that you've done enough, or who advise you to take a little rest, or hey, it's time to take a vacation. Now is not the time for rest and celebration or vacations. It's time for more action. Andy Grove, one of the Intel Corporation's first employees, coined the saying, "Only the paranoid survive." And although I'm not recommending that you spend your entire career in a state of paranoia, I do believe that you must stay committed to taking action. Even after achieving success along the way, continue to take more actions in order to achieve and exceed your goals. The time to celebrate or take vacations will come. Right now, you must keep adding wood until the fire's burning so hot that no one and nothing can put out your success. One of the problems with success is that it demands continuous attention. Success tends to bless those who are most committed to giving it the most attention. Success is somewhat like a lawn or a garden. No matter how green it gets or how beautiful the flowers, you must continue to tend it. You have to keep mowing, trimming, edging, watering, and planting. Otherwise, your grass will turn brown and the flowers will die. That's the case for success. There's no retreating for those who want to create it and keep it. Look, it's a myth to believe that the successful get to kick back and stop making the very efforts that brought them their fulfillment in the first place. Always keep the 4 actions: doing nothing, retreating, taking an average amount of action, and taking massive action. Keep them in mind. The 10x rule means you're going to create success in quantities great enough that you're constantly in total control. The wannabes and people who get close are the ones who quit. They quit adding wood and they back off. Massive action is designed to move you past your peers, past the wannabes, and off the treadmill. The best way to quit worrying about your competition, the best way to eliminate uncertainty, is to build a fire so large and so hot that everyone in the world, even your competition, comes to sit by your fire for warmth. Keep in mind, most competition is created by those who are unwilling to operate at the higher levels of action, those who are merely imitating the efforts of others. There can never be enough wood on your fire. You can never take too much action or accumulate too much success. There is no such thing as being talked or written about excessively, being covered too frequently, or receiving too much authority, or working too much. These are simply claims that mediocre people make in order to justify their own decision to be happy with the status quo. How can you ever take too much action when you have an endless ability to create new action? Look at the big players on this planet. None of them ever run out of energy, effort, people, ideas, or resources. They enjoy the gifts of abundance because they create abundance in their enterprises. So instead of resenting these people, hating them, admire and emulate them. If you do, you'll find that the more you commit to new actions, the more creative you will become. It is though your imagination opens up, new possibilities pour out from new commitments. It is not even necessarily the creativity that is so brilliant, but the ability to take massive action that prompts the brilliance. I recently met with a very, very high-profile PR firm in Los Angeles, whose members suggested in this meeting that I might possibly or should be concerned with the concept of overexposure. Something I thought was an extremely strange concept. The notion of overexposure, I'm sure you've heard this, the idea that you can see or hear about someone too much or about a product too much. This is based on a concept that a person doesn't continue to generate new ideas and new products. The underlying belief is that an overexposed person or an overexposed product will somehow lose its value. But consider the following. Coca-Cola is known by almost everyone on planet Earth. You can find Coca-Cola's products in almost every store, bar, airplane, and hotel in the world. Is it overexposed? Should it hide its products? Should the company hold back in fear that Coca-Cola will lose its value because too many people are hearing about it, it's too easy to get, or maybe too many people are using it? This seems to be fairly ridiculous to me. And there are countless other examples of products and companies that prove this point. Microsoft, Starbucks, McDonald's, Wells Fargo, Google, Fox TV, Marlboro, Walgreens, Exxon, Apple, Toyota, even some athletic and celebrity personalities. Overexposure for most of you is not the problem. Obscurity is the problem. Remember, if you don't know me, then it doesn't matter how good my product is or how low my price is. Remember, if you don't know or know about me, then it doesn't matter how good my product is or how much it will do for you or how low the price is. And even if overexposure was a true problem, which it's not, look, I'd still rather be overexposed than face obscurity. The sad but true fact is that most people don't even get in the neighborhood of overexposure. Most people never get inspired enough to build a bonfire so hot that others come to it. They're either miseducated, socially programmed to settle for less, or fear that their actions will somehow get them out of control. I promise you, this will not happen to you. You must build your fire so big and so hot that you not only burn the house down, at least willing to burn the house down, but you incinerate everything in your path. Go all the way, go all in, and then keep going all in until your fire burns so hot that people stand around your fire in admiration of your ability to take action. Don't worry about the resistance you're afraid you'll face from either the market or your competitors. They'll get out of your way once they see you're a force to be reckoned with. Exercise. What is the fire that you've always wanted to start and need to add wood to? What 3 things could you do to add wood to that fire today? Who can you get support from in order to continue stoking your fire? Chapter 16, Fear is the Great Indicator. Sooner or later, you will experience fear when you start taking new actions at new levels. In fact, if you aren't, then you're probably not doing enough of the right things. Fear isn't bad or something to be avoided. Conversely, it's something you want to seek and then to embrace. Fear is actually a sign that you're doing what is needed to move in the right direction. Look, an absence of concerns should signal that you are only doing that which you're comfortable with. And that will only get you more of what you have right now. As strange as it may sound, you want to be scared until you have to push yourself to new levels to experience new fears again. In fact, the only thing that scares me is a complete lack of fear. What is fear anyway? I mean, really, does it even exist? Is it real? I know it feels real when you're experiencing it, but admit it, most of the time, what you fear doesn't even occur. It's been said that fear stands for false events appearing real, which aptly implies that most of what you're afraid of doesn't even come to pass. Fear, for the most part, is provoked by emotions, not rational thinking. And in my humble estimation, emotions are wildly overrated and the scapegoat many people use for their failure to act. But regardless of whether you agree with my opinion on emotions, you must reframe your understanding of this one emotion called fear and use fear as a reason to move forward rather than as an excuse to stop or retreat. Use this frequently avoided feeling as a green light, this thing called fear. Use it as a green light to signal you of what you should do. Chances are that when